has a program with Meharry, and they basically allow students to go to Meharry after completing 4 years of undergrad at TSU. And you apply to the program and you come to Meharry in the summers and you take classes and you attend seminars. And given that you fulfill a certain GPA requirement and you meet all the requirements to get into Meharry Medical School and take your MCAT exam, then you will get an interview to Meharry and an acceptance. TSU has several research opportunities that get students involved in labs that work with cancer, and getting more African American students involved in this type of research can help pique their interest in pursuing PhD or MD programs, and then they can go back and help disenfranchised communities upon completing their education. I'm currently participating in prostate cancer research. Prostate cancer currently is one of the most common causes of death for men in terms of cancer-related deaths. And this research is important because metastatic prostate cancer, currently the treatment for that is androgen deprivation therapy. And over time, the tumors can actually grow resistant to this type of treatment. And so it's important to understand what factors can cause prostate cancer, and our lab sort of investigates that. I know that prostate cancer has a very poor prognosis, and people who have late-stage prostate cancer, they often don't survive longer than 5 years. So being able to conduct this type of research and trying to find out what factors regulate this metastatic prostate cancer can help us develop drugs that target specific proteins and pathways. I'm interested in going to medical school, and I sort of viewed research as like the backbone of medicine, because medicine takes the knowledge that's gained through research and it applies it. So I thought being part of the research process would give me a greater appreciation for medicine as a whole. And it's interesting to be able to work with a specific disease and get to work with a group of people and brainstorm new ideas for experiments. And just knowing the lives that are impacted by prostate cancer, it keeps me more motivated to try and contribute in any way that I can.
I had a lot of great mentors when I was coming up, even as an elementary student, a high school student, graduate student, undergraduate. And so I've always wanted to kind of pay forward and help students get that exposure that I got, and help them to see how great science can be.
From conducting prostate cancer research, I found out that African American men are more likely to die and be diagnosed from prostate cancer than white men are. And this could be due to multiple factors like lack of access to adequate health care, distrust of the healthcare system, and even just genetics. And it's important that Black men get tested earlier than white men. And so we need to start prioritizing the well-being of African Americans so we can keep informing them about how to protect their health. You don't really need a strong science background, and actually at TSU a lot of the research programs are catered towards students who don't have any science background at all. Research is sort of seen as a learning opportunity that allows students to explore their interests.
It's a great and rewarding experience. I love interacting with the students. Again, start small. I didn't start with a lab full of about 15 or 20 students. I started with one and kind of worked out how I like to mentor, how I like to interact with students, and then it expanded from there. So again, start small, be open to learning from the students as well as teaching them, and be open to interacting with different types of people, because I think for myself, you know, one of the things I had to learn as a mentor is how to interact with different types of personalities and different types of students.
If you're planning on going to graduate school, pursuing research is helpful because it shows that you're trying to expand your scientific knowledge. And also a lot of research programs, they give you stipends so you don't have to worry about expenses while you have your research experience. And then on top of that, you get opportunities to travel and compete at competitions and get awards, and then also meet people who are similar to you and have your same passions. During my freshman year at TSU, a lot of research programs are actually advertised depending on your major and interests. So you basically find one that you feel is most catered to you, and it depends on whether you want to do research in the summer or in the semester or even both. And then after that, you can apply to these programs, or even if there's a professor whose research you're interested in, you can just reach out to them. And a lot of professors actually encourage and even enjoy when students take interest in their research, and they'll invite you into their lab. Well, mostly we conduct Western blots, which are experiments that are used to determine how much of a protein is in a cell. So we treat and we prep prostate cancer cells for analysis, and then we determine the levels of certain cancer-causing proteins in these cells, and that lets us know how effective a treatment was. And we also spend time growing and harvesting early to late stage prostate cancer cells so we can continue doing different experiments.
There are a wide variety of summer research programs. There are programs that allow you to do research during the year as while you're in school. Just identifying those programs and figuring out what you need to do to apply. A lot of them also come with some kind of financial incentive. So if you need to work, you can do research and get paid for it at the same time.